Hi, everybody, and welcome to Breeders' Cup Focus. I'm Dan Illman, along with Mike Beer, taking a look at the top contenders for the Breeders' Cup Mile. They are ranked in preliminary morning line order. The odds were made by DRF's Brad Free. Not surprisingly, Bricks and Mortar is your morning line favorite, 7-2. Chad Brown waffling still a little bit between the Breeders' Cup Turf and the Mile. It seems as of right now he is leaning towards the Mile, and boy, Bricks and Mortar has just been a revelation since returning off of a long layoff. Mike, do you think he is a bit of a tweener, though, and that a mile might not be his best distance?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he probably is a tweener. I don't know if he wants to really go a mile and a half. You know, maybe a mile's a little short, Dan. I don't know about that. He is, in his career, 5 for 5 between a mile and a 16th. You know, they aren't top races that he's running in when he wins at those distances, but he certainly handles it just fine. You just really can't knock the form he's in right now.
Coming off a powerhouse win in the Arlington Million, we'll go back to his race preceding the Million. That was the Grade 1 Manhattan Stakes on Belmont Stakes Day, and we see him easing to the outside right now. He is going to be making his run 4 wide to the front, and he's on his way. And that's a really great asset that Bricks and Mortar has, at least at this 1.25 mile distance. He can stay close and adapt to a pace scenario.
Yeah, he's a very handy horse, very tactical, and he's got a big finish to him. So listen, wherever they run him, Dan, if he gets the right kind of trip, he's going to be a handful.
But this is the Breeders' Cup Mile, which means the Europeans are coming, and we have some good Euros in here. Circus Maximus, Romanized. They ran 1-2 in the Prix du Moulin, and we're going to watch that race right now. Mike, take us through the final quarter mile.
Yeah, listen, these two horses both run really well in this race, Dan. They got good trips. You're going to see Circus Maximus is splitting right now. He rolled the pocket the entire way. He gets clear in the stretch. Romanized is coming to his outside right now, and they're just going to hook it up down to the wire here. It's a duel from here. Romanized just can never really get by Circus Maximus. He doesn't stop trying, but he can't get by him. He's going to fall a nose short. These two horses both ran really well in this race.
Ever since Aidan O'Brien and the connections have concentrated on mile racing with Circus Maximus, he has found his form with a win in the St. James Palace, a second in the Sussex, and that win in the Prix du Moulin. Pay no mind to his race 2 starts back, the Juddmonte International. They tried to stretch him out to 10.5 furlongs. As for Romanized, this is a horse that kind of came out of nowhere, Mike. Group 2 winner, won the Group 1 Jacques Le Marois, and is right there. He has found himself. I'm not sure I completely trust him as a true Group 1 horse, but he's getting there.
Yeah. What you can say about him is his most recent 3 starts are the best of his life. He just gave Circus Maximus a real race there that we just watched.
Got Stormy is 5-1 on the morning line. This is the winner of the 4-star Dave. She beat the boys that day, and based on that effort, she was favored in the Woodbine Mile, and we'll turn into the stretch there, and she is being ridden with utter confidence in the pink silks, and it looks like she's just going to spurt away from this field. But surprise, surprise, El Tormenta is going to give her a fight, and El Tormenta is going to beat Got Stormy. Do you think Got Stormy was too confidently ridden in here, or do you think El Tormenta was just better on this day?
Yeah, I mean, she just got beat at the end of the day here. Yeah, she was underconfident handling there. It felt like, you know, maybe Tyler Gaffalione was thinking about her 2 wins at Saratoga, where she just exploded in the stretch, and he thought he was going to get more of the same here, but she got hooked and she got beat.
Is it possible that she's a Saratoga wonder, that she just blossomed up there, she loved the turf courses, and those 2 races are a bit of an outlier? Because we remember Got Stormy, always a very consistent, likable horse, but not the kind of horse that exploded as she did at the Spa this summer.
I mean, maybe that's possible. I will say that she did hint that she was an improved horse as a 4-year-old before the Saratoga races, and then it just felt like she took the next step. And listen, she got beat last time. It's not like she ran a poor race.
Raging Bull finished 4th in the Woodbine Mile for Chad Brown. He's a bit of a late runner. Do you get the feeling that if you give him a pace and a trip, he is good enough to threaten the top horses, or is he just a cut below?
I mean, I sort of feel like he's probably a cut below, but listen, if they go great guns in front of him, he will be running at the end.
Uni is a mare to watch for Chad Brown. We're going to go back to her most recent race, the First Lady Stakes, and she just fires from way off the pace. You see her in the pink cap and the yellow silks, and this is what's known as absolutely inhaling a field in the final 1/8 of a mile. Uni is very, very good. A mile is her distance. She's starting to remind me, and maybe this is just a little bit of a silly comparison right now, she's starting to remind me of Tepin when Tepin was in her good form.
It'll be interesting to see what happens if they go to the Breeders' Cup with her, and I don't know if they're going to do that. But if they do, I wouldn't just totally overlook her. That race that she ran right there that we just watched, she got a perfect trip in that race. That was some ride from Joel Rosario, but it was also a big run that she put in. She's a really good mare. I just don't know if they're going to run the Breeders' Cup.
She would have to be supplemented to get into the field in the Breeders' Cup Mile. But like you, as we take a look at the list one more time in odds order, again, the odds compiled by Brad Free, 10-1 on the morning line for a horse like Uni, very impressive. We see Bowie's Hero at 12-1, this one coming off of a win in the Shadwell Turf Mile. He's always been rock solid. I never really thought he was international Group 1 class, but he is a kind of horse that's very consistent and could spice up your tries and supers.
Yeah, I agree. I like him. He likes the mile distance quite a bit. He's the kind of horse I think you want to keep open, at least underneath at a big price.
We're still a ways out from the Breeders' Cup, but things starting to get into focus. Bricks and Mortar, your 7-2 morning line favorite, as Brad Free has on his very preliminary morning line. He has dominated the turf division in North America. Now we'll see if he can fend off some very classy European invaders.